Hello, and welcome to the Rego Radio Lab, educational podcast from Rego Consulting focused on project portfolio management topics and CA/PPM. Today we've got a great show for our listeners. One of the hot topics in PPM today is training. Joining us today to talk about training is Rego's own Sarah Garvey and Monica Bianchi. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, thanks Sarah and Monica. So I understand that training effectiveness is one of the keys for success for PPM implementations. And I understand that on June 29th, you both are going to be hosting a webinar. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. The webinar that we'll be covering next Wednesday, June 29th, we'll talk about just effective training strategies, how to make the training that you're providing for your end users as effective as possible and help users leave training really ready to go and utilize the tool and utilize the processes that you've trained them on.
Well, that's great. I see that you've got a pretty packed agenda here for your webinar next week. Catering to the learning, content development and delivery, content access, and supporting the learner. Monica, could you tell us a little bit about the topic around catering to the learner?
Yeah, so in that section, we really talk about how everyone learns differently. So having different types of trainings and different types of materials is really important to ensure that we reach out to every different type of learner. So it's important to analyze the group that we're working with and to make sure that we have the right materials and types of training sessions set up for them.
And why do you think that's why do you think that's kind of a key to the training effectiveness? Is there something that looking at the audience and their learning styles, it's going to help make the implementation and the training more successful?
Well, we just want to make sure that everyone is, absorbing the information, and some people do better with instructor-led trainings. Other people do better with our e-learning or following along on quick reference guides and things like that. So you always just want to make sure that you're catering to the learner and then also the organization as well. So some organizations are more apt to be able to do instructor-led trainings versus, some of the types of materials or content that you have are able to create.
Well, that's great. What about your second point here around content development and delivery? Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be covering in the webinar?
Yeah, in that section we really talk about what are the things that you need to do to prepare for the instructor-led trainings, the virtual sessions, or your quick reference guides or other materials that you're creating. So we talk about things like that are important to include in some of the presentations, things to think about when you're setting up sessions, all things that are just important in order to have an effective training to ensure that your learners are really absorbing and learning everything that they need to know.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like some great best practices that you and Sarah are going to be talking about. So Sarah, turning to you, around the content access and supporting learning, can you go into a little bit more detail on what the webinar is going to dive into about those two topics?
Yeah, sure. So, everyone kind of understands typically that they need to create materials and deliver the learning. And these last two topics really just kind of point to some of the things that might, not necessarily be forgotten, but might be given a lower priority. And so with the content access, we're really focused on the fact that you need to make sure that there's a really easy way for people to access the learning content after the training session. So, if it's a SharePoint site, if you've got a learning portal, whatever is the place that you're able to provide that access to your end users, you want to make sure it's easily accessible, that all the content's in one place if possible, and that you've got the most recent versions of your content out there. And so that's what we'll focus on there. And then in the last section, really just talking about how learning doesn't end with the classroom training or the virtual training. There's all different types of methods that we can utilize to support our learners on an ongoing basis and make sure that they feel that support after they leave, that in-person or virtual training.
Yeah, and that's very true. One of the things that I have had on implementations has been how we've actually just done one training and then it's kind of forgotten and you have new people or you need refreshing the training. So that's got to be a really, some really good content that you and Monica are going to be discussing on the webinar next week. So I appreciate your time today. I know that's about all the time we have for this, and great. Thanks so much. Till next time, I'm Patrick Finkler with Sarah Garvey and Monica Bianchi. We'll see you next week on June 29th, Wednesday at noon for this great and exciting webinar on training.